Live. Just gonna let it run for a second, and then I'm going to do this. Hello and welcome to the Always Sunday Football Podcast. I'm your host, Dave, and I am joined, as I am every week, by Danny. How you doing, Danny, in studio?
Good. How's everybody?
Awesome. Very well. John, down in Florida, how are you, buddy?
Doing great.
Awesome. And Anthony will be joining us. I just got a message from him. He'll be joining us in just a few minutes. So we'll welcome him on when he gets in here. But fellas, the draft. Okay, so we got a lot of different things going on here right now. This podcast is ever expanding. We've got more things to talk about. We got more fantasy football, which is always better, right? More fantasy football is always better. So we're going to talk about the Laces Out Fantasy Football League. We're going to talk about the Always Sunday Fantasy Football League. We're going to talk about the National Football League. I don't know if you heard of it. We had a dynasty draft. We're going to break it all down. We have coming up in 2 weeks our redraft. We're going to, peek ahead towards it because our keeper's locked today. But before we do any of that, hey, John. John?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you have any news items you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk about some injury updates.
All right.
Two significant ones. The first one, the Jahmyr Gibbs injury. Ooh, big blow.
Well, there's a lot. There's been a lot more than just 2 injuries here.
Oh, no. There's been a lot, but
right. Okay, but Jahmyr Gibbs. Sorry, go ahead.
Jahmyr Gibbs injured. Hollywood Brown injured.
Right.
So he'll be out for 4 to 6 weeks, apparently. JJ McCarthy injured his meniscus, tore his meniscus. Going to need surgery.
Yeah, and we don't know how long he'll be out. He could potentially miss the season.
Could be.
Tyron Tracy injured. Backup running back this upcoming rookie season injured. There's a couple more.
He got air casted, but they said later that it wasn't as bad.
Maybe 4 to 6 weeks, not the season. It looked like it could be because it was non-contact.
Right. Go for it, John.
And for right now, I think that's like the highlight of what I wanted to point out. There's a ton more injuries.
Put a little respect on Josh Downs' high ankle sprain. Okay.
And, Josh Downs, the slot receiver for my Indianapolis Colts this year. My Indianapolis Colts. Anthony, when you get on, that's my team this year.
He's not watching. I can tell you that right now. He's definitely not watching. But yeah, there's been a few injuries. Shout out to Battle Fader. The tough part of a dynasty league, especially the draft we had an 8-day draft, right? The draft took 8 days, which isn't a short amount of time. It didn't go quickly. It was a little bit rough. But injuries are going to happen. And in a dynasty league, I feel like those things are a little bit less it hurts a little bit less. It impacts things a little bit less because you're going to have these guys for the long haul. They're going to get injured over the course of the time that you own these players. And so in a dynasty league, like I have Josh Downs. He was basically like the first guy to get injured this preseason. He got a high ankle sprain. That's like 4 to 6 weeks. And then it's probably going to take him maybe another 2 weeks to get back to full strength. So I'm probably losing him for like the first 4 games of the season. But you know what? I'm going to have him for the rest of his career. So I got to just kind of take that in stride and, play a guy and try to score some fantasy points, right? So, injuries suck. We hate them. 'Tis the season that we get reminded every year, oh my God, these injuries. And it seems like, I think there's more injuries this year than there was last year. I think that everybody says that every year. And, it's just,
we're just getting started to
right. It's the circle of life. What else you got, John?
Yeah, I was going to also point out some non-injury news.
Nice.
So the Jets are, we talked about this in our text messages, the Hassan Reddick debacle that's going on with the New York Jets. Absolutely disgraceful.
So
Just-
okay, just to break it down, what happened was it is disgraceful. He's not wrong at all. He's 100% right. So the Jets had a player called Bryce Huff, and he's a young upcoming player, and his rookie contract ran out with the Jets, and he had shown a lot of improvement. He was, like I said, upcoming in the defense. The Jets let him go in free agency. They didn't make him an offer. And instead, they traded a 3rd-round pick for Hassan Reddick from the Philadelphia Eagles, who the Eagles decided they didn't want to deal with him anymore. They didn't want to have to re-sign him because he was asking for a new contract. He was being a little bit of a malcontent. So the Eagles were able to get rid of him to the Jets for a 3rd-round pick. And the Jets were not able to sign this guy to a contract. They weren't able to figure out a deal. And so this guy's been holding out. The Eagles turned around in free agency and they just signed Bryce Huff. So the Eagles got Bryce Huff in free agency for a reasonable amount of money. The Jets inherited the Hassan Reddick problem, which they have not so far been able to solve.
And gave up a 3rd round
gave up a 3rd-rounder to do it. And now Hassan Reddick says he's not going to report. The Jets say we are not going to trade him. John, as a Jets fan, how you feeling about your squad right now? No, that's not the right question to ask. How you feeling about your franchise right now?
it's your typical Jets. Do we need Hassan Reddick to have a good defense? No, but this is typical Jets behavior, and this is just a sign for things to come. It's a sign. Every Jets fan should be born with the inclination of the beginning of the season. The first thing that goes wrong, it's a snowball effect. Just wait till winter; it'll get worse.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
and speaking
true.
of getting worse, Anthony, welcome to the show.
Rude.
Wow, look at that chest hair.
Yeah, you got to bring out the chop meat, bro.
Wow,
Yes.
you're lucky, Luis. Luis have a field day with that.
I don't know how I like that. I don't know if I like that.
Hello and welcome to the show. How you doing?
Yes. Good. Sweaty.
Yeah, you've been running around.
Yeah.
Okay, we John, you made it right in time. John's about to start his next news item.
Ooh.
All right, so let's talk about, and this is I'm gonna go with Danny Mack on this one. Were you more impressed by Jaden Daniels' performance or Caleb Williams' performance in the
Good
preseason?
question.
Jaden Daniels or who?
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. They both look relatively good, but we hadn't seen. I saw more Williams. I didn't watch much of Jaden Daniels.
Fair.
I was off that day. I was off the day. Sorry, Caleb. When the Caleb Williams game was on, I saw more highlights. And he looked pretty good. He was out there for what?
Williams?
Yeah,
Like 2 drives.
2 drives or something. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he wasn't overly long, but he looked all right.
Yeah, he looked pretty
But
good.
he's looked good in camp.
They both have. They both.
And so
looked
is
good.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, they both.
Yeah,
look
I mean, they were the top 2 picks for. I mean, overall, I like Caleb Williams more. I think a little bit. I think there's a little more upside with the arm and stuff and the creativity as a passer. But
think
Daniels can rip it and run.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good. I just think Williams is kind of like very shifty. He's going to be good. He's going to be able to throw accurate deep passes from very different angles and from very different situations.
John, what's your answer to that question? Did you have a favorite between Williams and Daniels, or one that you think was better than the other?
Man, this is actually the toughest one that I had to actually evaluate. That's why I wanted to get a perspective on Danny. But I was really impressed by Jaden Daniels to accomplish, being able to hit different receivers. I was just really impressed with it. Caleb Williams, he has the offense to be successful. I think I'm a little more impressed with Jaden Daniels because he has a little bit less to work with. So I would say Jaden Daniels by a very slight margin.
That's fair. Anthony, did you get a chance to watch either guy?
Not in preseason, other than tape over the course of the past few months. I think
Talk about in the
I-
preseason games they just played.
no, I didn't. Other than that was the only time I didn't watch them. I've seen them everywhere else. But like I said, I think it's I think Jaden Daniels has a weirdly enough has a better opportunity. I think to just do good. I think there's just so much going on in there for Caleb Williams. I don't know. I see it being Jaden Daniels having a better year.
Interesting. I think Caleb Williams certainly has the better weapons.
There's nobody has ever walked into a better scenario than he has.
Yeah, I mean, not to say, I mean, Jaden Daniels' situation isn't bad. It's actually pretty good. JJ McCarthy's situation is pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He's got
Getting hurt. No, saying getting hurt.
No, he got hurt, but that's we talked about that.
No, I agree. They all have great
the
great
situation that he came into. He's got the best receiver on the planet, and it's a really good number two. Yeah. And Hawkinson, if he comes back well from the knee injury, is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. They're all set up better than the average person, but Caleb Williams is set up pretty nice.
Sammy boy's turn. Now that JJ's not gonna be breathing down his neck.
Yeah.
Ooh, watch out! Yeah, listen, he could.
If
you could be an average quarterback, you'll be able to take care of Justin Jefferson.
The Christmas episode, Dave, Minnesota Vikings, Santa Cap. You.
Yeah, you think?
Oh yeah, the Midwestern Jack. You perfect new franchise.
I got to close the door. John, what's your next news item?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the update on Brandon Ayuk. It looks like the 49ers are looking to get an extension. If not an extension, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the front seat for trading for him and getting an extension. Anthony, your thoughts on the Brandon Ayuk situation?
Ooh.
I think realistically, what the best thing for the Niners to do is whatever they can do to keep him on the team one more full year to try and win it this year. It's wild with him. It's like I think it was two teams that offered. It was the Steelers and the Patriots.
Yeah,
and he's like, nah, man. I read something where like a deal was made between two organizations. Like they were both okay.
New England, and he said he didn't want to go there.
Right, he didn't want to go there.
And then apparently Cleveland was willing to give up Cooper, and they still couldn't.
Right, I saw that one. It was like
they walked away early.
Wasn't it like it was like Cooper and a first?
Yeah, and they walked away from that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Especially there's not really a drop off for this year. Maybe a slight drop off. Ayuk to Cooper is not like a massive tumble for this year.
No, it's you're buying age back. You're buying youth.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was worth a first rounder for that.
No,
that's why they walked away early.
I agree. Like Giants were a candidate before the draft for an Ayuk situation because they're looking.
It's going to be Pittsburgh or the Niners.
They're looking for a first rounder minimum.
They offered. I think he's going to Pitt. I don't. Their offer was short of $30 million. That's what he wants. I think he's leaving. But I think there's a chance he stays. I think it's only, but like Johnny said, I think
they, like I said, the best thing for him. I mean, he wants the bag, but it's like, do you want the bag or do you want to win a championship? You know, like you have.
Yeah,
he wants the bag. He wants the bag, dude. If you wanted to win a championship, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No, but I'm saying like this is for most guys. A lot of guys, it's the bag, but like some guys, it's not like that. They want to win the championship.
More of them. I think the majority of them are playing for the bag, dude.
Oh, 100%. But that's the thing. Like, all right, make your money and never win a ship.
Want a raise or a trophy?
Once you've made your money, then you can start worrying about
you can focus. But you got to get that contract in, and I think he's just shooting for it.
Everybody's getting the bag right now.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. No. John, what else you got?
Yeah, let's talk about the game-winning drive by Stetson Bennett, backup quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. Looked really impressive. I have him that he may end up taking the reins once Matthew Stafford's kind of gone out of LA. Do you see that McVay has possibly has his replacement already in the quarterback room?
I think it's way too early to say. I think Stafford has a couple years left still.
What is he, 37?
I'm not sure.
It isn't bad.
He'll be 37 this coming year. He's 36 right now.
He's got 2 seasons in him at least.
2 or 3 at least.
Yeah,
I think
so.
it's reasonable. He's still playing at a really high level. So unless he sustains some sort of major injury.
Well, they
then-
found themselves a guaranteed
You
backup.
It's not like he has to air it out constantly. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah, no,
it's good for aging.
Yeah, I think that Stafford. I don't think Stafford's going anywhere.
No,
is
but I
like-
mean, you want nowadays with what happened last year, most teams are fine with solidifying a solid QB2 because of how things are going. William,
100%.
what's up, Will?
Hey, Will. Thanks for
What up,
watching.
Will?
Thanks for tuning in.
Sorry about
Johnny.
my roast beef.
So, Johnny, what's your next news item?
Yeah. This one's gonna be about Justin Fields. Justin
Your boy.
Fields. Love me some Justin Fields, but
Yeah.
me and Dave had a conversation about this. He had to bring me back to reality because I have some investments in Justin Fields. We also know that he's fun in fantasy, but in real life, he has some turnover issues for sure.
2
And
fumbles
2 fumbles.
in like he had 2 fumbles in like how many snaps? You know, it was a significant percentage of snaps were fumbles. You know, not insignificant. So he's very tantalizing. He's got the legs and all this, but he's never been an accurate passer. He takes sacks like that's what he's supposed to be doing. And obviously now he can't even accept a snap from under center.
Awful. All right,
Shameful.
got the last 2.
Hopefully he can have like a Mike Vick resurgence. You know what I mean? That would
He's got the arm.
right.
He's got the running ability.
right, but you have to throw it to your own team guys. Like that's important.
That's the thing.
It's important.
Yeah,
Big
it's a
part of it.
thing.
So I got real quick. I'm just gonna speed through these. Packers offense looked like a well-oiled machine against the Cleveland Browns defense. Joe Burrow was able to lead a touchdown drive in the preseason. Looks like Joe Burrow is over that wrist injury. So those guys that are trying to invest in that Cincinnati offense pull the trigger. And last but not least, Michael Penix, the guy that should be starting for the Atlanta Falcons, but will probably sit for a year.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying in terms of
Could be
contract.
starting for the
at
Falcons.
quarterback?
This is some Kirk Cousins erasure, and I won't stand for it.
Start at like
What about Kirk Cousins,
Kirk
John?
Cousins,
He's been a
remember?
good quarterback in the NFL for the last several years. He's there. He's for all intents and purposes, recovered from his injury and ready to go. What happened?
Over to the poor man's Bo Nix.
I'm just not. I'm
Penix
just
is-
not a believer that he's fully healthy. Like,
But what about Aaron Rodgers? Is Aaron Rodgers fully healthy?
Well, Kirk got injured a lot later in the season.
What?
than-
Answer the question.
Yeah.
Is Aaron
So-
Rodgers healthy?
He had help.
Aaron Rodgers is healthy because of the time he got injured,
Okay,
for sure. I think he's
sure.
healed.
for sure. Got it.
I like what I'm saying is basically is that I think Kirk Cousins is still going to be injured,
You got it.
and it's going to affect his play.
All right. Anthony, where are you on this? You seem like you're checked out.
No, I was trying to find where I made my list earlier to pull that up. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I got it. I got it.
Very
And then I was-
That's perfectly acceptable.
Nice.
Good.
I was,
That's
I was,
fine.
I was
John, what's your
working.
next
I disagree with whatever John said. Go ahead, go.
John, what's your next news item? Did he freeze?
Oh, I'm done. We're done.
All right.
Oh, okay, cool. Good job. Very good. Very good. All right. Next thing on the list, we'll talk about this really quickly, and that is the Always Sunday Fantasy Football League. The keepers have locked, fellas. The keepers have locked.
Locked. Finished.
Yay! The keepers
Up.
locked.
John, at any point were you like at the screen doing one of those?
No, I was just talking out loud. I made a commitment to myself. I would not make drastic changes in the beginning of the season. So
Okay.
I'm sticking. And your boy has
So you'll be-
officially become an Indianapolis Colts fan. So this year, I'm going to be all about the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
like
That's
that.
cool.
I like, you guys know I every year I have like one or two teams that are like my fun team of the year. So I respect that, John. Good for you. And they should be a fun team. They should definitely be a fun team this year. So Luis, who's drafting first, I'll go in order of draft. He's keeping Dalton Kincaid, tight end, Buffalo. I think that's a really good keeper.
Yeah.
Solid
What do you guys
keeper.
think?
Yeah. Solid. Yeah.
One of the very few guys left that has the option to be the number one on their team, number one target.
Yeah, he's probably going to be the Danny.
Yeah, we were talking about in the write up. Yeah, he's good. Tough to say how he's not.
Right.
Right.
Kim Go is keeping Brock Purdy. Anybody have like a strong feeling about it? It's just, to me, it's just like a okay pick.
You have
like
to pick
Yeah,
somebody.
it's a safe play.
I guess. I mean, I would have to see the keepers, but yeah,
There might not have been much. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
what did he finished in the top 10 last year, no?
Right. He's surprised
Yeah.
us before.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, Purdy puts up stats.
Yeah. Not Mr. Irrelevant
Yeah,
today.
he's mid.
No,
Not
very
this year.
relevant.
Very
Well, you're
relevant.
taking all
Well, yeah.
you're taking all floor, no upside. So it's
That's not true. He's got
No,
upside.
he's got, yeah.
He's finished. Danny just said he's finished in the top 10
No.
last year.
no stealing like that's what I mean. You're not getting any more than what he did last year. That's what I'm saying. You have a safe floor with him. There's not like as much ceiling.
So you
further
feel like
down.
his floor is his ceiling. What happened with John? Hold on a second.
Jonathan, are you alive?
Might have just got. Oh,
They're not
hey.
getting a hurricane in Florida. Oh, no, there he is.
What happened?
My bad.
All right.
Click the wrong button. Johnny
No.
Ortiz. Johnny Ortiz is
There it
keeping
is.
Anthony Richardson. We just mentioned it. He's going for the upside play. We like that. It's a good bet. Will, who may or may not still be watching, is keeping Rashid Shaheed. He didn't really have any good options.
Okay.
He was in a situation where he was kind of
Well,
damned if he did and damned if he
Yeah,
didn't.
and
so
he should be the number 2.
100%. So he's going to be on the
So-
field a lot for the Saints. He's going to be running a lot of routes
Yeah.
for the Saints.
And things happen sometimes when you run routes.
What I think is going to happen is he's
That's
going to
true.
score. He'll score some really big touchdowns. Like he'll have like a 50-yard or one.
Yeah,
big
he's
play.
the deep
Going
ball.
for the big play.
But
He's not that. Yeah, he's a fun DFS play.
but it's going to be hard to know when to start him. That's going to
Yeah.
be the tough part.
Yeah,
Mike
he's a
Dahl,
boomer bust.
right. Mike Dahl is keeping Evan Ingram. We knew Mike Dahl. I had this pegged all the way because Mike
Tight end.
Dahl is a tight end guy. Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's keeping
Wait,
Evan.
who doesn't love a good tight end?
Well, no. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that this is very
the position in football.
it's very
Yeah.
on brand for Dahl to keep
Yeah.
Evan Ingram. But Evan
Yeah.
Ingram's he's a top tight end option this year. So nice pick. Now another guy who is swinging for the fences because Taylor had the option to choose to keep either Nico Collins or Devon Achane,
Tough
and
pick.
he chose. It two very good players,
Yeah.
and he chose Achane. So he's another guy who's like John, swinging for the fences, going
Yeah,
for the
not
upside.
going the safe route.
Very volatile,
Yeah.
could be very bad in a lot of
And a
different
running
ways.
back and not a receiver.
Right, running, tiny little running back.
Inherently more risk.
Showed
Yeah.
already last year that he could get injured, but he also showed that he could be a league winner if he stays on the field. So that's a really cool pick by Taylor. I'm keeping Kyron Williams. Picked him up off the waivers after week 1 last
Easy
year.
pick.
Easy keeper for me. But also, I didn't have anybody else to choose from. If I didn't have Kyron, I would have been fuck. I would have been so screwed. Danny keeping. Announce it.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, quarterback, Green Bay Packers. I think that's a really good pick.
Yeah, I think he's safe. I think he's he's good. And
Yeah.
I could keep him for a few years. It's year 1 of keeping him.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, he can
you
anchor
know
your
what I
team.
mean?
You don't. That's
Yeah,
a
he
position
can-
you don't
yeah,
have to
I
worry
don't-
about
I-
drafting. you know?
I haven't had to draft a quarterback in this league since I don't know when, and I
Right.
won't have to draft one this year. And I had other guys. If Tank Dell didn't get shot and Diggs didn't get traded for, we might not be having this conversation.
True.
But
Still, I mean, that's
Yeah.
still it makes it a harder conversation. But I still see a lot of conversations where Love ends up at the.
oh yeah,
as the
yeah.
keeper.
I'm fine with the pick.
really, really nice. Anthony, you want to announce your keeper?
Oh, my boy, and I called this guy this time last year. I said I feel it in the jellies.
Yep.
Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta,
That was
tight
pretty
end from
easy.
Detroit. Yeah, that's another great pick.
It was no contest, but I had the option of Rashee Rice as well.
True.
True.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but
it is no
Laporte is
conversation.
probably the tight end one.
Yeah, he's certainly in ADP. He certainly
Yeah.
is. Eddie is keeping Tua against. He didn't want to keep Tua, but it was the smart play. So good job out of him. Garrett Wilson, Gotham Rogues. I think this is his second year with Garrett Wilson now out of 3.
Yeah.
Good pick. Yeah.
Really solid pick.
Yeah.
He's waiting for the payoff.
Right. He got cheated out of a big year last year. So hopefully he gets that payoff, as you said.
And he still had some big games with absolute shit at quarterback.
Right. So
just
you know
awful.
he's good.
Yeah.
You know he's good. But John, have you seen the videos of him and Rodgers arguing at practice? There's been a bunch of them.
Yeah, I have. I think it's
that.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't end up being, something that hurts their chemistry in winning football games. But who knows with the Jets? I mean, I have this team being a 10 plus win team this coming year. I think that their schedule allows them to win some games, and they should be a playoff team. But who knows? I can see them losing some games that they shouldn't win. That they shouldn't be losing, and beating teams that I'm surprised that they would beat.
Jay, with the last pick in the draft, is keeping Puka Nacua, the wide receiver from the Rams, who also was like I guess he was the waiver wire pickup of the year, and Kyron Williams was a close second.
Yeah. If only when you go position. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Kyron Williams played the whole year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He missed like 4 or 5 games with injury, which really killed him, but he still ended up really super high. So either way, those are the keepers. The draft is 2 weeks from tonight. Tonight being Tuesday. So
super arousing.
There you go. Very, very exciting. Also exciting is the Laces Out draft that we did. Okay. The Dynasty startup draft. It was 27 rounds. It took 8 days, but we got through it.
It's so rough.
It was crazy.
27 rounds is a lot too for you math.
It is, but it didn't really need to be 8 days, but it is what it is.
No, it could have definitely gone faster than that, but
it could have been 4 or 5, but it's still really long. And the last,
yeah,
and it's a big board.
So
not even the whole board.
Yeah, right. So this is actually the board.
You can't fit 27 rounds on one. So we're not, we're not kids.
So that's the draft. We'll go around the room for your own team. John, what was your favorite draft pick, considering draft position, like considering what round you got him in? It might not be the best player on your team. It could be, but considering the round you got him in, which pick are you like happiest with / most proud of?
Man, that's a really, really tough one because I felt like I drafted pretty good, like overall, but the pick that I was very, very
because I was so good at
I felt so good about it. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to, rub it in people's face. But my favorite pick, come on, it's Javon Baker. Come on. It's my favorite pick.
You got him in the 12th round.
I got him in like the 12th round. I love this kid. Just love this kid.
And he went to you. So for people who don't know, Javon Baker is from UCF. He went to UCF, and that's the school John works at. And I guess do you attend class right now or just working?
No, I'm graduated. I'm done.
Is he there?
No, he graduated.
He's in New England. He's in New England.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. So Javon Baker is your favorite pick. Anthony, who was your favorite pick?
I'll tell you this. I'm still a little upset about myself with round 2. I did not think at all that AJ Brown would have fell to me with the 310 was it or whatever.
With the 1, you got AJ Brown in the first round.
I'm sorry, Hurts. I didn't think Hurts was going to fall with the stack for me. I thought he was going to go earlier, so I was like super happy about him falling there.
Yeah, that's a great thing to have because they'll be together for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. But Chase Brown, I'm glad he fell where he fell to me, and I was able to grab him. I have a little feel he's going to take over that job, and it's going to be a solid pick for the future.
What about you, Danny?
Probably Rice, because I for some reason didn't think he was going to be there when I drafted him. Other than that, probably Diggs falling to where he did and getting Connor where he did. Only because I drafted Benson earlier, so pretty much
you
locks up one running back, right? So, and he, it was late, so it wasn't like you're not drafting. Jamar Chase in the 9th round, 10th round, or whatever.
My favorite pick is Justin Jefferson. He fell to me at the 3rd pick, which typically you see he's normally like the number 1 ranked dynasty player. So I feel like I got good value there. Obviously the quarterback is why he fell to me because people are afraid of his quarterback situation, but I think he's more or less quarterback proof. And then if he does get somebody who's pretty good, which, the coach has a lot to do with that, they're going to scheme him the ball. So I feel really good about Justin Jefferson in the 1st round. And then I guess after that, I really like Josh Downs. I think he's going to be good. I think he could be good, but unfortunately he's injured. And I was really happy with getting the Jermaine Burton pick there because he's a future player.
Agreed.
So I think that he'll have.
He's taking over Higgins' job.
Hopefully, he's up to that task because that's not a small thing, But whatever the case may be, yeah, I just my receivers. I think I got some decent little receivers there. So
I couldn't say something not negative, but just an observation as a person who's drafted with you for quite some time.
For me,
yeah, I was super shocked on how long you went without grabbing an RB.
Yeah, well, I had a strategy.
That was the first dynasty too you've ever drafted with him.
Yeah. Did you hear what he said? Because you didn't say anything.
The first dynasty league you drafted with him too. That kind of changes the dynamic a bit. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Never done
Receivers
a dynasty
just run a lot earlier. They go a lot earlier because they don't get, they play longer than a year.
Yeah, in dynasty, it's a safer investment and it's a better investment to invest in young receivers or for the most part, young receivers. Obviously, I know I got Mike Evans also, but
you got versatile.
But yeah, I decided I wanted to make my investments at receiver to sort of solidify my team now and hopefully in the future, and then. I think running backs are more replaceable. I think there's a bigger turnover at running back.
Yeah.
And so I felt more willing to let that be my weakness and try to figure it out, try to work my way through it, draft some players next year.
Blow the waiver wire. Well, maybe not this year.
There's not going to be much on the waiver wire, I don't expect. But if I can maybe come through with a trade that works for me, or if, like I said, I already made a trade for the thing is I made the trade with I drafted Andrews and then I acquired a 2nd round pick in the Kelsey. So now I have an extra 2nd round pick, which I think could, if I spray and draft a few running backs,
something sick.
Right, maybe I get one and then we're off and running. But I felt like if I wanted to if I had to worry about one position and like figure it out, I think running back was the one. Because it's probably the most volatile position. I mean, tight end scoring is relatively volatile, I suppose, but as far as players,
but guys still last more. Yeah, but their shelf lives are short.
Shelf life is the better word.
Tight end still lasts longer.
Yeah, shelf life is the better word.
Definitely.
They have an expiration date, and it's like the
league treats them the same way, right? So.
There's one running back in the league over 30, right? Or 30 or older. Literally one. Derrick Henry. He's 30. That's it.
He's a freak though.
And he's
McCaffrey.
$500 million a year. No, McCaffrey's like 28, 29. He's not 30.
Most.
but and he's literally like one.
Oh,
like,
Mostert, yeah, Mostert 30.
Mostert, right about Mostert. He got you there.
oh, he's over.
He's over 30.
32.
Okay, let's see. So instead of, now trying to figure out this, that, and the other thing with everybody's draft, let's take a look position by position at what people did in the dynasty draft. Okay. So we have quarterback groups here. Jedi has Burrow, JJ McCarthy, who will probably be going on the IR, Geno, and Joe Milton. Joe Milton was wowing people, right?
For sure.
But I mean, he was a late round pick for a reason. Isn't he very old?
Yeah.
He's an older rookie, yeah.
And so you got to keep your expectations in check with Joe Milton, even though he's exciting in the preseason. He could end up just being like a preseason hero and be awesome in the preseason for the next 4 years, and then you never hear from him again. Jay Clavs, Kyler Murray, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Sam Howell. I like that.
Yeah,
like, Sam Howell's trash, and he doesn't matter. But Murray, Daniels, Nix is a really nice.
Yeah, and Nix
really
look
young.
good, and Daniels expected to, and
all three of them.
Good.
He made it a point to try and draft mobile running quarterbacks, and he got 3 pretty solid ones. Nix is actually pretty mobile.
Yeah, and he's looked good.
Yeah, yep. I have Patrick Mahomes, Drake May, and Deshaun Watson. I wanted one guy. I mean, I got the opportunity to draft Mahomes, who I believe will be like a top 3 option for the next 10 years at least. So I feel pretty good about that.
You have the best quarterback of all time.
Yeah, he's
yeah, you're fine.
Essentially the best quarterback of all time, which is true. And so I got him, and I feel like he'll be my cornerstone of my quarterbacks. Then I got a rookie who could be anything, we don't know. And then I got a guy who's the ultimate lottery ticket, and I got him super late. I grabbed Deshaun Watson because you never know. If he figures it out, then he could have some value. And I just need him to cover Mahomes' bye week, which is week 6. So that's right. It's early in the season before things go haywire, if they're going to go haywire. And that's that. Armstrong, Bright. Now this made me scratch my head when I actually looked at it. Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones. That's his quarterbacks. Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones. I think that's easily the worst quarterback group in the entire league. There's not even a conversation.
This is equivalent to the Denver Broncos.
So you're starting
Baker
Mayfield.
He's starting Baker, yeah. Baker's his starter. Then he's got Bryce and Daniel Jones.
You got Bryce as like the ultimate hook shot from like the other side of the court.
Well, Bryce is whatever. If he's going to be your backup, he shows up. It's like, that's fine. But like, you need a starter.
Right. This is so he decided, like, just like I didn't punt running back per se, but I
punted QB.
He punted.
It wasn't his top priority.
He legitimately punted QB. He did. But I guess that could be a strategy.
Yeah.
He might have something up his sleeve that he's planning. We don't know. Maybe there's a rookie next year he feels class that's it. That he's got his eye on already. Who knows? Yeah,
this isn't just 1 year.
Right, exactly. So I mean, it looks bad now, but maybe, I mean, obviously he believes in Daniel Jones, he believes in Baker Mayfield potentially, and he believes in Bryce Young, which is not a bet I would make, but he's him and I'm me. Wolverines, that's Gotham. It's John Narkowitz, Anthony Richardson, Brock Purdy. Thank you very much. That's all. He got 2 quarterbacks, which is cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, and complete opposites.
Very different, right? Exactly. Purdy,
and they're both young.
Purdy offers.
We talked about Purdy's floor earlier, and you're right. They're both young.
Captain floor, captain ceiling.
Right. He's got both, so that's pretty good. It's actually ironic that those are the 2 players that we talked about earlier.
They're literally the most. Yeah.
Yeah, they are like the other end of the spectrum, guys.
Every other quarterback you have falls somewhere in between those 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Josh Allen, Jared Goff, Gardner Minshew is the battle fader. Okay, that's a pretty good quarterback group as well, especially Allen and Goff. You like those 2 guys. If you could just go back and forth between those 2 guys throughout the season, you're probably feeling pretty good. Although Allen would probably start most of them.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, Tua, and Sam Darnold, who now Bobby
It's
J,
the
by
starter.
the way. Darnold is now the starter. We know that for sure with the injury to JJ McCarthy, Tua, and Lamar Jackson, of course. That's a fine quarterback group, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby, you might be able to talk to Homeboy and get a little quarterback trade going on.
Well, JJ McCarthy wasn't going to be his starter anyway. You
Yeah.
know, he's got Joe Burrow and Geno Smith, so JJ McCarthy wasn't going to be his starter anyway.
No, I'm
But
talking about,
yeah, Sam Darnold. You know, if not now, when?
Yeah.
If not now, when, Sam? And I hope for good things for him too.
Agreed.
Not
Yeah.
just because I have Justin Jefferson and the better Darnold does, the better Jefferson does, but partly because of that. Search Protector has Caleb Williams, Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford.
Yeah, nice safety behind the rookie.
Yeah, exactly. Like Dak is going to be really good this year. Stafford is always solid. And if Caleb Williams fucking pops off, then he's set up. Jay Grizz, Justin Herbert, Kirk Cousins, Michael Penis, Aaron Rodgers, Aiden O'Connell. This is a very like meh group. He's got 5 guys, and you know, obviously Cousins Penix is
It's one.
it's one guy, right? Obviously, and of course, apparently John thinks Penix should be the starter. But you know, Penix could be the future of that team. I believe that. Justin Herbert, you know, pass volume is a big question mark. Aaron Rodgers' health. So he's got some lottery tickets there, I think. You know, you just
All you need is one.
ride the hot hand.
All you
Aiden
need
O'Connell.
is one.
I'll tell you who it's not going to be. It's not going to be Aiden O'Connell.
the backup for Gardner, most
Right.
likely.
Anthony, Shady Acres, Jalen Hurts, and then his 2 boys, Will Levis and Spencer Rattler. I love Jalen Hurts, but I think your quarterback room
Nobody's
is very thin.
praying not for an injury to starter more than him. Nobody.
Oh my God. If Jalen Hurts were to get hurt, you are in so much trouble. You'd have to trade your first round pick or something. Let's not talk about that.
To be fair, 16 team super flex, Levis you might play him. And on a big bye week.
But Danny, Anthony's jellies.
It's my jellies, man.
Right? Tell us about Will Levis here. Explain yourself.
I have a feeling in my jellies.
Are you sure it's not like
Testicular?
No. Listen, Will Levis, and Calvin Ridley is going to be a phenomenal stack sandwich this year. Granted, where they're for draft position, where they are and where they're going to finish.
Gotcha. So they're ADP. They're draft steals.
Yes.
So he might outperform and perform like a 15th round.
Anthony,
18th.
I'm going to argue that the Tennessee Titans this upcoming year have a bottom 5 offensive line. Good luck.
It's okay.
Oof. That's damaging information. Danny, CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Travis, Hendon Hooker. He stashed Jordan Travis on the taxi squad where he'll probably stay all season long, but he could potentially be the heir apparent to Aaron Rodgers. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That pick pissed me off because I was hoping to get Travis on the comeback. CJ Stroud, talk about it.
Yeah. Being where I was drafting, there was a running back, there was a run on quarterbacks that started, right before me is when all the quarterbacks started to go. And I figured John was going to take another. So I figured, like Dynasty League, CJ Stroud's still there. He said, 5th or 6th quarterback taken? I had him as like in a Dynasty, I think it's like quarterback 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever. So pretty easy to pull the trigger. And then when I drafted the backup, I just needed a second quarterback. If God forbid one gets hurt, at least, it was just 2022. Lawrence is like a top 10 quarterback.
I will say I'm not a big Lawrence believer, but he's a fine backup.
Yeah, for sure. He's not going to start over
Yeah,
but he keeps hitting contention. God forbid there's an injury. At least he's starting on a team that should function.
Yeah,
I mean, he's thrown for 4,000 yards the past 2 years. That's not bad.
No,
not
he'll
at
throw
all.
for some volume. It's the touchdowns. If they run the ball, Doug Peters.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. But like again,
Yeah.
fine back.
And Hooker, I figure wait a year, see if he's Scott's replacement.
Right. Well, he's
Which
another
you
guy
might
who
be
was
able to tell, but
he was a older rookie when he came into the league.
but he was like
so
at least he was like a 4th, 5th round pick.
I don't think he's going to be the guy,
But
but
no,
we'll
but
see.
we don't. He's probably gonna Well, they don't really have a backup. It's him or what's his name?
Johnny has Jordan Love, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, and Derek Carr. Now he locked up the Pittsburgh quarterback spot, which anytime you can get the quarterback of the Arthur Smith-led team, you got to do that.
They
Jordan
could
Love,
even they could be better than Redler.
they are.
Yeah,
They are. They're both of them are better than Desmond Ridder.
yeah,
You know,
way better.
John, talk about Jordan Love.
Yeah, I think that this kid has a really bright future. I have him kind of having that he's going to take a step forward, passing the ball a lot more, spreading that love, scoring a little bit more points. I just love his long term ability. I think he's young enough to make a solid QB1, and then Fields obviously is my wild card. If the guy can take care of the football and earn the QB1 in Pittsburgh, he's my wild card, and then Derek Carr is just a safe bet just to have on your roster.
Right on.
I like Love.
Yeah, I love Love.
And when you took him, it was right after I took Stroud, and I thought to myself, it's going to be Stroud or Love. I'm getting one of these guys. And I took Stroud. But if he had taken Stroud, I would have ended up
with Love.
Yeah.
Nice.
Especially
Yeah, well, you're
in
keeping him.
Dynasty.
I mean, you're
Keeping
keeping
him
him in
yellow.
the
He's
league.
like, I wanted to split, but I had Stroud a spot or two ahead of him.
Fair.
So in Dynasty. But he was the guy I would have gotten, and Johnny got him right after. I'm pretty sure.
Running backs. So we got Jedi with Ken Walker, Javonte Williams, Tony Pollard. I didn't put. Oh, I guess it's Aaron Jones, Will Shipley, Antonio Gibson, Pierre Strong.
A lot of options.
A lot of options. I like Ken Walker. I like him as a 2, not necessarily a 1.
Yeah, the split, the timeshare scares me.
Javonte Williams he's one of those guys who could be a huge big win. You know what I mean?
Could be, yeah.
He could be awesome this year and just be totally recovered from his injury, and
Watch out.
he could be great. So that's a nice pick for him. Pollard, I don't know. He burned me last year, so I'm still sort of have trauma from that.
I think they're turning around to be more passing than they were rushing.
Yeah. Agreed. So he should have some value, but it's going to be a timeshare, I think, between him and Spears. That should be pretty even. So I don't think either guy is necessarily going to be.
No, but Spears is going to get the passing downs.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Aaron Jones, I think, could have some pretty good upside in Minnesota.
Short-term length time.
We'll see. We'll see how much of the workload he gets, because in Green Bay, it was always a committee that was a little bit frustrating, because even though Jones had great games, if you watch the games, you're like, damn it, why isn't he in the game right now? Why isn't he in the game right now? Like, you think even though he's having good games, he could have great games. Jay Clavs took the chance on Achan, took the chance on John. Holy shit! What was that?
That was me.
Anthony's frozen, so yeah, he's freaking out over there.
Well,
Achan Brooks, Ford, Jerome Ford, Zeke, Trey Sermon, and what is it? Jamal McClellan?
Yeah.
Jace McClellan?
Jaleel?
That effect.
Jaleel McClellan.
Yeah. That works too, I think.
All right. Jay McClellan. Achan, I think we talked about a little bit earlier. Brooks, Danny and I talked about in terms of his recovery.
Long term, like him.
Long term, great
this
pick.
year, they might not get much out of him.
Agree. So that's probably why he grabbed himself a Jerome Ford, who's going to be a serviceable
I think Ford
starter.
is a very after those 2 picks, Ford made perfect sense.
Yeah, really nice play there by him.
Yeah, I have a lot of Ford in best ball. Yeah.
Yeah, tons of upside in this backfield, but also a fair amount of risk.
Yeah.
My running backs. Speaking of risk, my running backs are Derrick Henry, Jalen Warren.
Jalen Warren's a solid pick.
Yeah, I do, but I just wrote Davis, but I don't know who the fuck Davis is.
Oh, the guy from Buffalo.
Oh yeah, Ray Davis.
Right.
Because I have two Davises. I have
Ray.
Ray Davis. I have Ty Chandler, Khalil Herbert, Miles Sanders, and Isaiah Davis from the Jets, who's
Right.
like third string running back.
That's his brother.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It's just a common last name.
Yeah. So Ray Davis, Chandler, Herbert, Sanders, Davis. So we talked about this already. My running backs are my weakest point on my team. There's no question. I think Derrick Henry's got a top 10 season in him, at least one.
Oh yeah,
he's going to score a ton of touchdowns this year.
15.
Okay, that would be beautiful. I would love that. And Jalen Warren is not the best, but he's a decent enough number two. But like for me, if you look at it, my team sort of was set up so that my second running back would actually probably end up being like my flex level position player, where my receivers go deep into my flex.
Yeah,
and therefore, if I can get flex production from Jalen Warren as my RB2, and I'm getting solid wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2 position from the flex position,
then you're good.
It all evens out, right? So, and again, we talked about it: running back turnover, running back shelf life. That's where I'm making my risk going into this league. Armstrong, Bijan Robinson, Tyjae Spears, Nick Chubb, Jalen Wright, Raheem Mostert. So he's got the two Dolphins right there. When Mostert goes out, Wright goes in, age-wise and stuff. Algier, Roshan Johnson, Deneric Prince, Jamal Williams, Sione Vaki, and Jordan Mason, which really burned me because I was like, damn, it was one pick before me. And I was like, I can't believe Jordan Mason's going to fall all the way back to me. And he didn't fall back to me. Bijan, great. And then he's just got a bunch of like maybes after that.
But he's got so many of them that can wear you down.
Right. So he's got the most running backs in the league as of right now.
Close. Oh no, we have one person kind of close.
There's one person who's one,
but nobody else that close
behind.
after that. Nobody else even remotely close.
Right, exactly. So he loaded up, which is probably pretty smart. We'll find out. But the other part of it is you got to hit on them. Getting them is step one, but the other one, the step two, and the most important step is they actually got to hit. So we'll see. But he's giving himself more chances. Narkowitz, the Wolverines, Breece Hall. He's a Jets guy. He got his guy Breece. He's got Josh Jacobs. He got
Brian Robinson.
Washington. Okay, Brian Robinson, Zach Charbonnet, Braylon Allen. So that's a backup to Breece Hall. Smart move. What's his name? Mitchell, Keaton Mitchell, Kenny Gainwell, Samaje Perine. So I like the Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs combination. Robinson, I think, is very good. He's got a good running back room here. Very solid running back room. Not we wouldn't expect anything less from the Rogues. I think he ended up making drafting the best team. To answer the earlier question, Battle Fader. Harris, is it Najee? Wow, Najee, Zamir White, Gus Edwards, Chuba Hubbard, Lauby, Frank Gore.
Yikes.
And somebody named Cook, but it's not James Cook.
He's got Dalvin Cook.
Cook, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think he got auto picked him, right?
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, good for him. That's crazy. That's not a good running back room. Najee, Zamir, Gus Bus, Chuba is not a bad play, at least early in the season, I don't think. But then like Lauby, Gore, Cook, that's crazy. So that's a bad running back room. Spiral, that's Bobby J. Kyron Williams, Rashad White, Joe Mixon. That's a nice 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Blake Corum to go with Kyron, smart move. Rico Dowdle, that's actually a pretty fine pick. He could end up getting, as the season goes on, if he's actually the better play. Tyrone Tracy, so that hurts. Jaleel McLaughlin, AJ Dillon, and Alexander Madison.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. The
Get
top
it
three.
done. Put in the work.
Yeah, the top three are pretty solid, and he's got the quorum to back up Kyron. So yeah, not bad. Search protector got Saquon, got Ramondre Stevenson, Alvin Kamara, Marshawn Lloyd, who's injured, Aldrick Estime, Eli Mitchell, who's injured. He's always injured. Evan Hull, Isaiah Spiller, and then he drafted Deuce Vaughn, but then dropped him for this guy Wilson, and he also drafted somebody named Jordan, but I don't know who the fuck that is. Some of these guys I put the first initial, and some of them I just completely forgot to do it. But get off my back. Nobody does these things.
Nobody does. I love you.
Yeah, I did a spreadsheet, so fucking get off my back. Anthony, you're frozen. You've been frozen for a while. Sign out.
I know because my phone died.
Oh, so you got
that's right, the stock photo.
it's just you got, and of course,
for the first time watchers that are watching, this is
John, did you just fucking freeze?
Standing still.
I think John just froze too.
Yeah, he was talking all this shit and he just froze.
Yeah, like it went silent.
That's what you get. Karma's a bitch, bro.
Oh wow, he got knocked out.
Karma is a bitch.
Not so funny now.
Oh,
huh?
stock photo, John. Oh, we got movement.
Anthony just disappeared now.
Oh,
Okay.
the mere sight of John looking, he ran.
Jay Grizz inherited CMC because of the age. People let him tumble all the way down.
Yeah.
We'll find out if that was a mistake or not. He's going to play for a few more years and be very good. He got James Cook, David Montgomery, J.K. Dobbins, Eckler, Isaac Garendo, and Dante Foreman. I like CMC. I like James Cook. I like David Montgomery. I don't really like the rest of those guys, but that's a good 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Very nice. Anthony, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. We can't see you, but there he is.
There he is. He's
Okay.
somewhere.
Travis Etienne, Devin Singletary, Chase Brown, Kendre Miller, Tank Bigsby, Justice Hill, Luis Reese Zamet. And then he drafted Reynolds, but then dropped him. That's right? You dropped Reynolds?
No, didn't I just pick him up?
Oh, is that what it was? I
Yeah.
picked the wrong color. Sorry about that.
I dropped Claypool because he's on IR.
Oh, right. So yeah, ATN, and then a whole bunch of question marks here. This is not, I know, you're sort of in the same boat I am a little bit. I mean, Singletary should be okay, but on a bad team, you have running back problems like I have running back problems. You got like one pretty good guy and that's it. But at least your guy is ATN, who's a lot younger, and he's awesome. So that's good. Danny, Jonathan Taylor, Trey Benson, James Conner. We talked about you locking up the Arizona backfield, which is smart because once Conner's done, Benson could step right in. Kamani Vidal, who has been declining in, his hype has worn off. Even Johnny isn't hyping him up anymore. Damian Pierce and Gus Edwards.
No,
right? No, it's not Gus Edwards. It's a different Edwards.
Oh, Clyde
Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Why I put Edwards? That's insane.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't I just put CEH? I'm crazy.
It was a long thing.
Yeah, that's a weird thing for me to do there. So
and Tucker.
No, you dropped him.
No, I picked.
Oh, you picked him up. Yeah, I colored some of these guys the wrong color. That's my fault.
What's his name went on? Yeah. Got her. Rondell Moore. I had him.
Got it.
I needed some.
Sean
No,
Tucker.
that was I picked up him when I drafted. Somebody else got hurt or I dropped, and I wanted another running back.
Fair enough.
So, and since Chase Edmonds, who knows what the hell's going on with him?
So you got Jonathan Taylor, you got the Arizona backfield, and you got pretty much nothing. Else.
No, it's very much like your team.
Yeah.
Running backs to get me through this year, and I have Benson for the future, Taylor, and I'm very much running back for this year.
Right on.
And then it's just built through quarterback, tight end, wide receiver.
Right on. Johnny Jahmyr Gibbs, who's already injured. Isaiah Pacheco, DeAndre Swift. That's a nice 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Zach Moss, Bucky Irving, Rasheen Ali, and what's his name? Chris Rodriguez.
Chris Rodriguez. Yep.
Yeah. And then you added this guy Gray. Am I right about that, or did I mess that up too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Eric Gray.
Eric Gray.
Eric
So,
Gray.
and that was before the Tyron Tracy injury. So
Yeah.
good on you. So yeah, good.
It's
Three
probably
good,
right after that breakout touchdown.
3 good running backs, and then you got some other question marks, but 3 solid running backs. Gibbs and Pacheco should be really nice for you, at least for a while. Swift is a little bit of an iffy play, or rather, he's an iffy running back to me, but I think he's going to be still a good play most weeks.
And
Yeah.
Zach Moss. Yeah.
Zach Moss. Well, I think Zach Moss and Chase Brown are going to split the work there. I think it's going to be tough for either one of them to really like explode, but maybe they will. Maybe one of them will.
Chase Brown.
Could be him. Let me make this a little bigger.
This is wide receivers. I take it.
This is wide receivers. There's a lot of them here. So, Jedi, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Xavier Worthy, Ricky Pearsall, Jahan Dotson. I think it's
Trey Palmer.
is it Trey Palmer or is it
Joshua.
Josh
Oh,
Palmer?
it's Josh Palmer.
One of them.
Yeah, maybe Wandale Robinson here, A.T. Perry, Bo Melton. That's nice. CeeDee Lamb, Collins,
Nico.
Go.
George Pickens, Keenan Allen, Romeo Dobbs. That's a nice stack of receivers right there. I see Curtis Samuel. Yeah, not
Other
bad.
guys.
Justin Jefferson, Drake London, Jaden Reed, Mike Evans, Josh Downs, Jermaine Burton. I got Mike Williams rather, Malik Washington, Johnny Wilson from the Eagles, Slayton and Gibson. I like the top end of my receivers pretty much. I got Justin Jefferson, obviously, Drake London. They're both real young and they're good. Jaden Reed is young and good. Evans is a little older, but he's still got a few good years in him, I think. I think I like Josh Downs and Jermaine Burton. I think Jermaine Burton next year is a nice investment for next year. Armstrong, Waddle, Odunze, Higgins, Coleman, JSN. Those are some nice receivers. Well, Keon Coleman is a question mark. I guess all these guys are like number 2s or number 3s or whatever, but it's still a nice little group of receivers they could develop into something better. Like if Keenan Allen keeps gaining weight, Rome Odunze will just keep getting better and better. Rashad Bateman, Burke, Naylor. Narkowitz got Olave, Ayuk. I'll tell you this: if Ayuk goes to the Steelers, he's going to be sad. He's not going to be happy.
When you're number 1, Mark.
Number 2.
No.
It's his second receiver, so he picked him
That's gonna be
in the
rough.
second round. That would suck.
Yeah, no, that would
To go from San Francisco all the way to the Steelers, who throw probably half as much. Yeah, that would be a poopy.
and
doopy.
score half as much.
Yeah, exactly.
And more importantly,
Jordan Addison, Devontae Adams is a nice grab. for
nice
him in
grab at where he got
the
him.
fourth receiver.
Really gonna come in handy now.
That's a crazy value, and it's going to help him, especially if Ayuk. Because if Ayuk goes to the Steelers, good night.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Troy Franklin, Davis, Mims, Cooks, Pierce, Moore, Smith, Mechie. Oof.
All right, is everyone alive?
What-
All right.
What keeps happening over there?
Cat.
There you go.
Okay.
Battle Fader, Amon Ra, Malik Neighbors,
Anthony's
second
pissed.
receiver. Debo, Hollywood,
up.
who's injured, Jerry Jeudy, Malachi Corley, Luke McCaffrey, Chark, Tolbert, Austin Osborne,
Nice
Jennings.
top.
Yeah, he's nice on top. Obviously Hollywood injury.
Really hurt.
That stinks, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be threatening his season, just maybe the first couple weeks of the year. So he should be
Yeah, and Malik Neighbors isn't a serious
correct.
thing either.
So, those top 3 are really nice. and then he's got some decent options after that, a few decent options. Bobby J, Marvin Harrison Jr., Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Polk, Myers, Lockett, Dortch, OBJ. I mean, Dortch is going to have some value. Polk right now is on his taxi squad, which doesn't make sense.
Get him off, Bobby.
Bobby, if you're watching right now, you're making a mistake there. Deontay could, Deontay, I love Deontay the player. Wherever he is right now, I guarantee you he's wide open.
Oh yeah, he'll get targets there. I thought he was a fine pick for where he went.
Yeah, he'll get targets. It's just a matter of quality of target.
Yeah,
it's
which is fair.
It goes back to the Ritter conversation.
Well, he's better than that, but yeah.
Search Protector, Tyreek Hill, Tank Dell, Amari Cooper, A.D. Mitchell, Duntavian Wicks, Pop Douglas, Zay Jones, Palmer, Shavers, Whittington. Hill, Dell, Cooper. That's nice.
That's nice, yeah.
That's nice. Mitchell, okay.
Some upside.
Wait and see on that guy for me.
Little upside.
Right. Dontavian Wicks is just a lot of mouths to feed there. Yeah. So you wonder, what his target share is going to be, but he's a great player. Jay Grizz, Pittman, McConkey, Cup, Leggett, Sutton, Michael Wilson, Thielen, Bobo, Kendrick Bourne, and Scott. He just added.
Big blend of old and young.
Yeah, he's got a blend of old and young. Like Cup could, I like Cup
for
this
where
year.
He went. Yeah,
I like his third receiver as Cup, especially the age is a consideration. But I like Cup for this year for sure. And then you just take it after that. But McConkey, Pittman, Cup I wouldn't be super duper confident. I don't think his three receivers are going to outscore other people's three receivers very much. That group of three is. You're not going to be winning with that group of three versus the other people.
And I don't hate Sutton as your fifth receiver.
No, it's not terrible.
Like it's got upside as a 4,
but it's like he's got a bunch of 2s.
Yeah, traditionally like a little more firepower above that.
Yeah, you got a couple of wide receiver 2s, a couple of wide receiver 3s there.
But now we get to
Anthony's team.
Here we go.
AJ Brown, my guy. Zay Flowers,
Okay.
Brian Thomas Jr., Chris Godwin, Calvin Ridley, Roman Wilson, Rashid Shaheed, Brendan Rice, Jalen Hyatt. He dropped Chase Claypool. He has Tutu Atwell and Jamari Thrash. Anthony, how you feel about your receivers?
I love them.
I like AJ Brown. I love AJ.
Yeah.
To me, after that,
Yeah,
you got a lot of question marks. Like you got one bona fide stud, and then a bunch of guys you're gonna hope are studs. Like you hope Calvin Ridley's gonna be a stud. He could, if he slotted in as your wide receiver 2, I'm sure you'd be very pleased with that. Zay Flowers,
like
does
more as 4,
3 or 4. Brian Thomas Jr. We don't know. Chris Godwin, he's a guy who could pop up and be your wide receiver 3 or at least every week.
Yeah, he's
flex
not
play.
bad.
Yeah, he could be an every week flex play. But I think it's AJ Brown, and then you got a bunch of guys who your butthole is gonna be puckered for the whole season.
Yeah.
Danny, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Rasheed Rice, Stephon Diggs, Jamison Williams, Khalil Shakir, Mooney, Wandale, Rondale, and Tillman, MVS. But I think you said you dropped Rondale, right?
No, he's
on IR.
IR.
He's IR. Okay. So you got Garrett Wilson. So you're hoping for the Aaron Rodgers experience to be a good one.
Yeah.
DJ Moore, Rasheed Rice. Stephon Diggs, they got a lot of mouths to feed. We really don't know how that's going to shake out.
No, he was just there as he was like just there because he was still there.
You could stack Stroud.
He's my number 4. He was my 4.
It was a convenient stack. A good, he happened to be there.
Receiver taken,
right, exactly. So, but to me, it's like you don't have anybody who you can be confident in. You'd be like, this guy's gonna have a great season this year. You have a bunch of guys who you hope, like Garrett Wilson. You haven't, you don't know.
No, but I think the combination of Wilson, DJ Rice,
DJ Moore was awesome last year.
Even Jamison Williams.
We think he might be good this year, especially with the rookie quarterback. We don't know. And they added Keenan Allen to that team, Rome Odunze to that
weighs
team.
280 pounds right now. He's not looking like much of a threat.
To me, the receivers, you have a lot of like potential talent, but it's like, what will we actually see during the games. I'm interested to find that out. Like, is this a strong receiver core, or is this just a bunch of guys, like, again, low end one and a handful of twos? We don't know. John, Puka, who's injured already, DK Metcalf, Christian Kirk, Christian Watson, Javon Baker, who we talked about, Quentin Johnston, DeAndre Hopkins, all the way down there. That could be a good value if Anthony's boy works out. Mingo, Lazard, and he dropped Juju because Juju got cut because it might be over for Juju in the NFL.
John drafted Hopkins because John believes in my jellies.
Is that true, John?
I don't believe in Will Levis. I just think he's going to get volume.
And
Because they're going to be down. They're going to be down in games, and Will Levis is going to be forced to throw the football. And with Bill Callahan as the head coach now of the Tennessee Titans, they're going to throw the ball a lot. Brian Callahan. He's going to be throwing the football, and his most trusted receiver that he has rapport with, Will Levis, is DeAndre Hopkins. So I'll take the value.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's his 7th receiver drafted, so there's no cost there. This is another one where there's no like. I mean, we'd like to call Puka a bona fide stud, but you need to see it more than one season, right?
It's hard to repeat that.
Right. He could have a worse season this year than he did last year, and it would still be a really good season. But where you're drafting him, it's a question of, are you happy with that or are you not happy with that? Depends, I guess, how it comes along. Is it all in a couple of games or is it spread out through the season? Whatever the case may be, he could be very good. DK, I think I really like this year, and he's pretty young still.
He's a freak.
I think if Christian Watson can stay healthy, he's in your top 3 receivers. But then, well, that's the thing. We don't know. Like, so far it looks like he can't. They said that they figured it out. They said that they've like evened out his leg strength, and that should fix it. And his gait, his stride was fucked up. So they said,
drank the Space Jam juice.
whatever it takes. But yeah, decent receiver group. Not spectacular. I think the running backs is the strength of John's team as opposed to the receivers. But I think you have a lot of balance as well. Tight ends. Jedi's got Njoku, likely. Allen, I think, who's on like that. The Rams, and Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft.
You guys okay?
Yes.
Yeah, we're okay, Anthony. Thank you for asking.
That was the girl. I was trying to see if the girls were still up.
Yeah. So Njoku is fine, not great. Tight end is he's just kind of like he's got an okay. What?
I had a late laugh reaction at the whole moment. Sorry.
Jay Clavs, Brock Bowers, Greg Dulcich, and Tyler Conklin. This is not a strong tight end group.
No,
not what you want.
No, I mean, maybe
player, bad spot.
Maybe in the future, Bowers develops into the star that everybody expects, but it's not going to happen this year.
The ball.
Right, it's not going to happen this year. I drafted Mark Andrews, but then traded him for Travis Kelce, Ben Sinnott, Theo Johnson, rather.
Yeah,
right.
Theo,
and then Darnell Washington or Darrell Washington.
Both of them, yeah.
From the Steelers. The dude is 6'7", like 250 pounds, and he can move.
Yeah.
So he's in the Arthur Smith system, and everybody expects it to be Pat Freiermuth. Well,
maybe
I was paying attention last year.
Or more likely, there's enough mouths to feed both in that offense.
That could be true because they're not going to be doing a lot of 3 receiver sets. But whatever the case may be, I figured take a flyer on the other tight end who's a physical freak on the Steelers and see if Arthur Smith says fuck you to everybody like he did in Atlanta, and instead of giving the ball to Pat Freiermuth, he gives it to Washington, who nobody knows who the fuck he is.
I think it's going to be a lot of both of the tight ends and a lot of Pickens and a lot of Brandon Knight.
Yeah, especially you goes there, right? Sinnott, I think for the future, because I got Kelsey who's old, but then Sinnott and Johnson for the future. I think one of those two guys have good odds to pan out and be a top 5 guy. We talked about it.
Yeah,
on the
or
ride up.
something, or at least playable till you figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Sinnott has top 5.
And even if you don't, Kelsey should buy. This isn't going to be his last year.
No, definitely.
No, you'll have. Yeah.
Armstrong.
No, Sennett's in a good spot. The Senator, with a young rookie quarterback in the same year, that's a good setup for the future. And Theo Johnson was also like a freak. He tested crazy at the combine for like size and whatnot.
Yeah, and he could very well be the Giants' starting tight end this year.
Yeah.
Armstrong, TJ Hawkinson, who's going to have to come back from injury. So in the meantime, he'll be playing Luke Musgrave and Mike Gesicki potentially. This is an okay tight end core. If Hawkinson,
excited about
once Hawkinson comes back from his injury and he's fully back, which probably won't happen this year, maybe next year, then this tight end group will look a lot better. Yeah. Or if Musgrave has a breakout, which I can't see it happening because now there's like 6 different mouths to feed in Green Bay.
And he's gotten how many?
What's the other guy? Kraft.
He's got that. He had injuries.
Injuries. Yep. What'd you say?
Said, and there's the other tight end, Kraft.
Exactly. So there's a lot going on in Green Bay. Narkowitz. He's a big George Kittle guy. We all know it.
Boy, I knew it.
Yep. Cade Otton and Eric All. So
all the Eric.
Kittle can win you a week, but he can also score 0 points or like 0.5 points or whatever.
Good blocker.
Great.
You don't get points for it, though.
Great blocker. Yeah. So Kittle, I love Kittle. If you didn't see the TV show Receiver on Netflix, watch it. Great. Love the guy. Boom bust. But behind Kittle, he doesn't really have a whole lot.
Not a lot going on there.
Battle fader. Dalton Kincaid. So he's got the Josh Allen, Dalton Kincaid stack. Jatavian Sanders, Jelani Woods. So you got
Unless
Kincaid.
He gets hurt.
Yeah. So you got Kincaid, and then you got the rookie behind him who's supposed to be good, but I think he's going to take time to develop.
Some upside there, though, long term.
Right. Long term, he should be in good shape. Between Kincaid, who's very young, and this guy Sanders, if Sanders pans out. Bobby J. Drafted Kelsey, but then traded him for Mark Andrews for the stack. Dalton Schultz, Hunter Henry, Juwan Johnson, Zach Ertz. So
Schultz gives him a good backup for this year.
Exactly. Yeah. So because Andrews has been injured pretty much every season.
Yeah.
So
it's just always in a league that's deep. You want a backup that you can play in almost any position.
Right.
Yeah, because you're not going to go get it.
No, you can't go to the waiver wire. Yeah. Search protector. Trey McBride, great pick. And then Hill and Wiley. Jared Wiley, people are talking about him being the heir apparent to Travis Kelce in Kansas City. So that could be a good pick in the long term. Trey McBride, good player.
Yeah, good.
Love it. I don't know who this Hill is.
Taysom.
Oh, that's right.
Probably.
Yeah, he could be sneaky.
Yeah. You never know with that guy. Is he a quarterback? Is he a tight end? I don't even think he knows.
Is he a running back?
Is he a running back, a fullback?
Yeah. Jay Grizz, Sam Laporta, Evan Ingram. That's a nice 1-2 punch for tight ends there. He might be this league's Mike Dahl.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith and Dawson Knox. So, yeah, he's set up at tight end. No problem. And I think Jonnu Smith could have some value in the Miami offense. They paid him enough.
Yeah.
Anthony, Kyle Pitts, your boy Chigakonkwo for your stack, and Colby Parkinson. Is this the year Kyle Pitts finally breaks out?
He kind of needs it for Ant's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
how many Titans is he going to start?
None right now. Yeah. They're all on the bench. But no, Ridley starts.
Okay.
So 1. But yeah, he's got the double stack there. So yeah, you kind of do need Kyle Pitts to
pan you really do.
Because you don't have much going on after him. I like Chigakonkwo, the player in the NFL, but as a fantasy option,
nice guy.
As a fantasy option, he hasn't been it yet. He hasn't lived up to what his athleticism is, Danny, Jake Ferguson, Cole Kmet, Michael Mayer, and Cade Stover. So you got Stover, who's he's a rookie.
Yes.
And CJ Stroud really likes him.
Yeah, he's like a third. He was like their 4th round pick or whatever. I'm probably going to taxi him.
Right. So he'll sit he'll sit or at least be on the bench for you for a while. Jake
Yeah.
Ferguson is going into his 3rd year. He's real young and he's the second option in Dallas. So it's a
Red zone
fine
target, yeah. And Cole Koment's a starter. For God forbid you need a backup.
right.
So you want at least for me, I want at least one starter caliber in positions where you can get it.
And then you got Mayer who will be on the field because if you do Taxi Stover, then essentially you just have those 3 guys.
Right.
So
and then Maxey becomes Mayer becomes the tight end 3, but he'll probably be well behind Koment.
Right,
for this
especially
year.
because that Bowers situation
Maybe not in 3 years.
stinks.
Yeah, but this year definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, he's talented. He was the #1 pick. He's young, and I took him late as hell. So there's some upside there.
Johnny, Dallas Goedert, Pat Fryermuth, Noah Fant, and who's Bell? What's his name? Do you know?
Jaheim Bell.
Jaheim Bell. Okay.
Jaheim.
Yeah, my guy. Goddard always gets hurt. Fryermuth has started to get hurt a lot. I like the Noah Fant pick, honestly. I think that he could have some sneaky upside for you. I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of those random dudes who sneaks into the top 10 at tight end this year. What do you think, John?
I don't hate Fant.
I think the pick that I like the most is Jaheim Bell.
Who's he play for?
He plays for the Patriots.
Oh, okay.
So he's one of those guys where he's like a freak athlete, but he's not your like
Polished.
typical. Yeah, he's not like a polished guy. He's just like raw talent. And obviously they have Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry over there. So they have time to kind of develop him. But he might not be a tight end. He actually might be a guy that might be a Taysom Hill. Like he could do multiple different things. You might see him in special teams. You might see him punt returns. Like they need to figure it out. But I just like the value. And they were kind of riffing and raving about like what his talent is. So we'll see. I mean, he's a good guy to do a flyer on and see what happens.
Nice. And the last thing I did, I put together a little stack report just to find out who in the league has stacks that they're working with. Jedi's got the Burrow Chase stack, which is a very nice stack, especially in Dynasty. Love it. I have the Mahomes Kelsey stack, which is a very old stack to have in Dynasty. But I still think they'll be potent for.
It's a very good stack, though.
Yeah, very good stack, top stack.
Yeah,
very 2-3 years. But I was telling Danny, I think like this is the year that it starts where people are like, will Travis Kelce retire at the end of the season? And they're going to do that every season for the next 2 or 3 seasons. I think this is the season where it starts where they're like the chatter of Kelce retiring is going to start. That's my prediction. Narkowitz has Brock Purdy, who's not his starting quarterback. He's his backup quarterback, and George Kittle. So it's like a backdoor stack.
Yeah.
He's Kittle is his starter, obviously, but Purdy is not. I don't remember who he has. Wait, let's check. Anthony Richardson, Brock Purdy. So I guess you could see Purdy starting in certain situations, injury, whatnot. But there you go. And he also has Ayuk. We don't know if Ayuk is going to stay on the Niners, but as of right now, he's got Purdy, Kittle, Ayuk. Battle Fader has the Allen Kincaid stack, which is very nice, especially for Dynasty. And he's got Goff, St. Brown, which is also very nice. Obviously, you can only start one quarterback, but either way, he's looking pretty good, I think. Bobby J has Lamar and Mark Andrews after the trade between he and I. That's a nice stack for Dynasty. Sorry?
Gunning for the belt.
Yeah. He's going for it. Jay Grizz has Justin Herbert, I don't think is his starting quarterback, but he's got Herbert.
It is.
It is his starting.
It was his first quarterback.
Oh, you're right.
First, but it might not be the starter.
Yeah, he might end up starting, let's say, a Cousins or a Rodgers.
Yeah.
You never know.
But he's in the mix. Herbert McConkey. Anthony's got 2 stacks. He's got the Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown stack. We talked about that. That's fucking super sweet. And then he's got Will Levis, Calvin Ridley, Chigakonkwo. So he's got the market cornered on the Titans right now. Looking good. Danny,
You got two stacks. You got CJ Stroud and Stephon Diggs.
And
It was
Stover.
and
Taxi
oh, that's right.
squad, but he's long-term stack.
Stover. And you got Hendon Hooker and Jamison
The
Williams.
Hooks. Yeah.
So like
One of those guys might not be playing for my team forever.
Yeah.
But one of those guys is probably going to see pretty regular time.
Yeah, I think Jamison Williams is going to be running a lot of routes this year. We'll see what he can do with him. But yeah, Hendon Hooker, I don't know. I'm not a big believer in Hendon Hooker. Johnny has 2 stacks. He's got the Jordan Love, Christian Watson stack.
Yeah, that's it.
I think
especially the love part of it.
I like the value there. I think Watson is, if he could stay healthy, but he's a guy who can't stay healthy. Russ and Fields. So John has both of the Pittsburgh quarterbacks and Pat Freiermuth. Is Freiermuth your starting tight end, John? No, he's not.
No, it's Goddard. I love Kellen Moore's offense.
You know what they say about him? He's like the Dallas Goddard of Western Pennsylvania.
That's true. That's true. What were you saying about Kellen Moore, John?
Yeah, I love Kellen Moore as being the OC over in Philly. I think Philly's offense is going to be. You think Philly was good before? They're going to be awesome this year. They're going to score a ton of points this year.
Yeah, they were bad last year. I mean, they had some good. They had the first half of the season was pretty good because they're talented, but then the defenses figured them out, and the offensive coordinator couldn't make any adjustments, and they sucked over the second half of the season. But yeah, I have high hopes for Kellen Moore. They're going to actually do like pre-snap motion and stuff. It's going to be you're going to have like a modernized offense. It should be fun. It should be fun. Anthony's going to have a lot of. I've had the Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown stack before a few times, and it's a blast. It's a fun ride.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun 2 times out of the year.
You may do it again this year.
Yeah.
Who, me? Yeah.
It's aligning. It's aligning.
You could see that happening. Speaking of which, the draft is 2 weeks from tonight, right? It's the 27th, I believe.
Yes.
Yep.
And so, buckle your seatbelts, pack your bags, everybody get ready. Everybody's invited to Anthony's place. Sorry, Anthony, if I may. And I don't mean to.
Don't let that shit happen again.
But I don't think Luis is going to make it.
I knew it.
Wow, what a shocker!
Yeah.
And John, what did I say, John?
We already kind of kneue it. He's flaked out on going on a podcast that he can just simply go on the phone.
He's gonna change. I'm gonna change his name to Cornflakes.
Shameful.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want the smoke.
Yeah, there might be a work conflict for him, so he might not be able to make it.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate, but we're still gonna have a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't make the draft. I have to rearrange my VHS tapes in alphabetical order.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll be there. Danny, will you be there?
Yeah.
Johnny, you're going to be there, right? You're coming up from Florida.
Johnny's flying in first class from Florida.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah, like Rick
Flair.
Always Sunday football podcast. Put him on a plane.
Yeah.
Flew him out.
Yeah.
On the private jet.
We're doing it. Yeah. So and then after that, we'll get together. We'll do another podcast similar to this one, but it'll be shorter because there's a lot less players to discuss.
Yeah.
But we'll do a draft recap. But that will be next time, where it's always.